Hi, this is Jen and welcome to the Book Refuge. Today I'm going to be doing the Rapid Fire Booktag, so you'll get to know a little bit more about how I feel about things. So here we go. Number 1, ebook or physical book. Now there's nothing like having a physical book in my hand, so that's going to be my answer. But of course you'll always hear like it is nice to have an ebook when you're traveling or when you're reading a book that's humongous. It's nice to kind of have it on your phone. Number 2, paperback or hardcover. I love hardcover. I like being able to take it off and there being a different cover underneath sometimes. That's cool. Leigh Bardugo has really pretty colored books, so I really like that. And paperback can just get injured so much easier. So I definitely, you can tell I like hardback. This wall behind me is like all my hardback books. So number 3, bookstore or online. Well, I definitely buy a lot of my books online. I live behind the Barnes & Noble now, so there's just something about being in the bookstore. I could lose myself there for hours, so that's definitely gonna be my favorite way to do it. When I'm getting older books or looking for a bargain, getting them on Amazon is nice. Just having it waiting for me when I get home from work is really nice. Number 4, trilogy or a series. I mean, I'm gonna go with trilogy. Sometimes I wish books, good series, you're always gonna want there to be more. But I think there's some series that go on just way too long. Otherwise, I generally believe like a trilogy is a good way to set up a story. So I enjoy reading a good trilogy. Number 5, heroes or villains. I'm gonna say heroes. I think a good hero learns something about themselves and teaches you something about yourself. In general, I really like a good hero's journey arc. A hero's journey is one of my favorite, as well as The Chosen One. Those are my favorite tropes in fiction, really. A book everyone should read. I'm actually going to be, I don't know if it'll have gone up before this one, but I'm going to be filming the book review for East by Edith Patel. And I read this book when I was 11 or 12 years old. I don't remember now. You know, you wish you kept track of things when you were a kid. Fairy tale, it's exciting, it's a love story, it's adventure, it's female empowerment, it's just all the things in one. And boys and girls can enjoy it, old and young. I suggest that book to so many people, and a lot of my friends have loved it. So anyway, that's a book I think everyone should read. Number 7, underrated book to recommend. I think I would say the Poldark series. I know that's not a thing. I found those books because of the TV show, which I love, but the books were actually so interesting and they cover so many different topics during the time period that they take place. Those are written by Winston Graham, by the way, if you want to look into them. I definitely plan to do a review about the Poldark novels later. But the characters are so rich. There's all different kinds of characters, and it takes place over like 40 years or so, the entire series does. So you really just get to see the entire life of these people. And yeah, I think that's pretty underrated. I don't hear too many people reading them. But yeah, that's a good one. The last book that I just finished reading Waiting for Yesterday by Jenny Lincolns is her name, I think. It's just a cute romance that I loved when I was in high school, and I just reread it actually. It's so cute. It's a time traveling one. I don't want to get into too much detail. I'm trying to keep this video as like a quicker one to just get through stuff, but that's the last book I finished. There we go. The last book that I bought. Ordered a bunch on Amazon that are actually all in the same series as Waiting for Yesterday. They were all these like Jove romances from back in the 90s. So I think those are the last ones I bought because I haven't went to Barnes & Noble yet since then. So those ones. Weirdest bookmark. I mean, I've definitely used candy wrappers before. I don't know if that's weird. Use what you got. But I do fold pages if I have to. I'm a big believer that you should treat your books with respect, but they're also your books, and there's nothing wrong with loving them if they're yours. I certainly don't like when people borrow mine and fold the pages. I don't know. Maybe I've used a piece of grass once when I had to. Yeah. You do what you gotta do. Used books, yes or no? Yes. In fact, up until, I lived on my own and like could afford books, have a good job. I mean, that's all I did. We got them at the libraries, sales when they would get rid of them, garage sales, Goodwill, thrift stores. I would buy books everywhere. In fact, I think that's where you find some of the best ones. And as I'm like recollecting books, I found a lot more of them that way than just looking for them, because it's more fun when you find it in a cool place. The top 3 genres. This is easy. Young adult fantasy, science fiction, historical romance, and then contemporary, I guess. But really, like, everything I fits into fantasy and fiction and romance. Like, those are the ones that fit into. Borrow or buy? I like to buy them. I'm happy to borrow them to other people. In fact, some of my friends who are watching this, I think there's a few books you've had a long time. No, I'm just kidding. But I prefer to buy them. As you'll someday see, I'll give you a tour of all my books. I have the library app, and I've reached like 400 books that I own myself, and it just makes me so happy to see my like book tally go up. Like, that's all I've ever wanted, was to have lots of books. So buy, definitely. Characters or plot? I'm about the characters. I find that if the author wrote good characters, like, their plot is going to be good. And if it's not, like, they both lean so heavily on each other. Like, if you make these beautiful characters and that don't have anything for them to do, how are they going to grow and be good characters? So my answer is character, but I feel like if the author wrote good characters, they wrote good plot. Long or short chapters? I like shorter chapters at the beginning so that I have time to like acclimate to a new world and get into it. But then once I've gotten deeper into them, I'm okay with longer chapters. But short chapters are nice, especially if I'm doing things. Like, when I was in high school, I would read all the time. So short chapters were good because I could finish them like in between the bell, which was nice. Just ask my teachers about me overreading. Sorry. Name the first 3 books that come to mind. Throne of Glass, Outlander, and Crooked Kingdom. Books that make you laugh or cry. Definitely cry. I love to laugh in a book, and usually the books that do that, they do both of those for me. But yeah, if a book makes me cry, it did a really good job, because I can usually see things coming. It makes me cry. It was good. Our world or fictional? I like fictional. I read books to escape our world. So that's why I like contemporary. It's hard to like pick one, but like historical fiction, I like that when I see the world in like a different perspective than what it was or something. But I definitely like fictional worlds. I love nothing more to just get lost and learn all I can learn about it and just have a great time. I love that. Audiobooks, yes or no? Absolutely. Although I'll have a whole nother conversation about that someday, about like how I got into audiobooks and just what a difference it's made, especially when I'm in a reading slump, like how great it is to have Audible, or if you're getting your audiobook from somewhere else. I know some people borrow them from libraries now and things like that. Definitely yes. Do you judge a book by its cover? I do. Belle would be very disappointed by me. I feel like back then, though, there were no designs on her books, so it was easy to not judge the book by the cover because they didn't have, these gorgeous book covers. But yes, I definitely judge a book by its cover. And there are good books I've read now that, in fact, I have one right by me right now. Like, I didn't read this book until it got a new cover, because the original cover, I was like, what is this? But when it got a new cover, I was like, ooh, shiny. And then I read it. So judgmental. So bad. Book to movie or book to TV? This is hard because, book to TV is good in some ways. Like, they've done some very good. Obviously Game of Thrones is fabulous. And Poldark, again, that's a great book to TV adaptation. If you had read the books, you know that. But there's so many that weren't good. So just because you're getting a bunch of episodes doesn't mean that they did a better job. But then again, book to movie, you can't. Like, I just heard that they're making the ACOTAR, like they have a screenplay for an ACOTAR movie, and I'm like, how are you gonna do that? That book, the first book alone has like 3 separate stories within this one book, and that's not even the biggest one. So I don't know how you could do it. So if I had to pick, I guess I'd pick book to TV. Not as good, the book's always better. Number 23, which is the last one. A series or a standalone novel? always a series. When I read a standalone novel, I'm always so anxious about like if it's gonna wrap up good, and then my imagination always wants to know what's gonna happen next. So I'm always about the full series. Like the longer the series, the better usually. I know I said I like trilogies better, but usually I want more. I'm that person that I'm like, even if it's not good for me, I want there to be more. Like the author should have stopped at a trilogy, but that doesn't mean I want them to. So I definitely like a series over a standalone. So, all right, that was my rapid fire book tag. It was definitely not rapid fire, but I tried my best, guys. I tried my best. So anyway, again, this was Jen from the Book Refuge, and oh, I need to tag some people. I don't know if HannahBooks has done this yet, so I'm going to tag HannahBooks. Anyone who wants to do this. I mean, I'm new to BookTube, and I'm slowly like meeting a few people, well, quickly meeting a few people. Some people have been so great, like reaching out already, but yeah, that's where I want to start with it. So, all right.